Today, I was really pleased with the response from our guys. I thought we came out and had a much better mindset, physical practice. Really tried to push the guys today. I gave them some situations, forcing them to think and react to a variety of different situations that could show up throughout the course of a game. Really had some good time special teams wise. I was able to introduce a couple schemes to a few units, and I think our guys are embracing that really well. But the physicality, definitely showed up. I thought guys worked through and kind of fought through some of the the rigors of practice. But I thought it was a good day, and really was pleased with the continued development that I'm seeing from James Blackman. I thought he's putting together a really nice camp. He's you could tell the confidence that's starting to develop with him within the offense. The other quarterbacks are continuing to come along. But I thought today was one of his better days, seeing him get to the second, third progression and some concepts that we have. Offensive line. Battle today. Defensively, really like what I'm seeing in the defensive, backfield and the competition there at linebacker. These guys are they're challenging themselves, and we've got some guys I think can definitely help impact this football team. To the extent that that role is going to be critical over these next few weeks, and what they continue to put on tape, their investment and buy-in to what we're doing, and I think we're heading. Today was definitely a step in the right direction.
First question will be Ira from Wilson.
Hey, Coach. When you have a quarterback that's had turnover problems at times, and James has had some turnover problems at times, is that something that can be corrected generally, or is it something that if a player's kind of been prone to that, it can be a problem for us?
Well, I mean, it's a turnover problem is usually a response problem, and how you respond to situations when bad things happen, your reactionary. Decisions to something that might not be right, and then there's been I've watched a lot of film on James, and it's easy to point a finger to the quarterback in a lot of situations, but there's a lot that goes into this game, and James has been through a lot, and I think it is there's times that he's played really well, there's times that he's maybe not played very well, but. I'm excited about what I'm seeing from him, and I've been around a lot of good quarterbacks in my day, and we've had some success at that position, and I think James, the investment he's making in learning what we're doing, the response to when things don't go right. I think he's playing more under control in that regards. But I think that his the confidence of what we're asking them to do, and then always knowing where the outlet is, or what sometimes a throwaway is the best play. Sometimes taking the check down, not trying to fit the ball in a tight window, but also making sure that all 10 other guys are on the same page with him. Is critical as well. So, I think I like what I'm seeing from him, but I like the competition there too.
Next will be Brendan from Norvell.
Mike, following up on James, I guess when you first got to work with him, say back in the spring, what was something that you identified, like this is in particular something we really need to work on, and I guess what have you seen as the biggest area of growth from him since then?
James is a great young man. I really like his personality. He's driven. He wants to do well. He embraces the coaching. There's no secret that you come and play quarterback here, you're going to get coached, and we're gonna put you in adverse situations in practice. We're going to make you you're going to have to be the hardest worker on the team. And James has a lot of those traits naturally within him. But I've watched a lot of games, and really it's just that response, always be in control of you, and not letting a situation or a mistake, carry on to 2, 3, 4 plays, down the road. I mean, you always got to go out there and play the next play. If something bad happens, your response will truly determine who you are and your identity as a player. So I think James has I think he understands what we're asking for there. He's definitely excited about the offense and what we're asking him to do. But on the same hand, it's with all the quarterbacks, and James knows there's great competition in that room. He knows that this is something that we're going to compete every single day. We're going to continue to build and grow. But I've seen some great strides from him, and I think he's investing the way that he needs to invest, and just focusing on continuing to get better.
Go back to Ira for the next question.
On your offensive staff, you have a lot of guys that have been either with you or guys that have been coordinators, or you guys that have been head coaches. How much has that helped in terms of what you guys do on the offensive side of the ball, in terms of continuity and also just being efficient and maybe getting through things quicker than maybe if you had a staff with maybe less experience or less people who have had kind of supervisory experience, I guess?
Well, I mean, I think anytime you have great leaders of men, it helps, and that's what we have. We've got extremely intelligent football coaches, guys that understand schemes, guys that might have specialties in an area here or there that's diverse in our talents, and so I think the key to being a good offensive coach and really a good football coach in general is being able to be adaptive, to be able to adapt to the players that you have, to put them in the best position to be successful. You'll never hear me say that that kid doesn't fit our scheme or doesn't fit what we're looking to do, because if that's ever your response, then you're not a very good coach, because it's our job to take the best of what our guys can do collectively as a group. I mean, the 11 guys that we put out there, we've got to put them in the best position, and when you have great coaches that can bring a different perspective and that we can all teach, we can all encourage, we can all inspire, and then help hold these guys accountable to the standard of what we want to operate, I think that definitely helps. And like I said, majority of the coaches on the offensive side, I've coached with at some point, or I've just got an unbelievable recommendation before we got started, and just through the interview process and getting to know them was blown away. And it's definitely been a joy coming to work with them throughout the last 8 months, and I'm excited about to see that group continue to grow and become more cohesive, like you were mentioning.
Next question will be Aslan Hazarani from Motion.
Coach, you mentioned you have to kind of work around your talent, and that's what makes a good coach. The wide receiver position, obviously, we know what Maureen can bring for you guys. Is there anybody else that's sort of emerging, and do you have the multiple skill sets from the guys that they can fit in all the different spots you guys would prefer?
It's been fun, watching those guys compete, and for them to be able to showcase some of the diverse skills that they bring. I feel good about that position, but we just need more consistency from that position, and from top down, every one of them. It's that you're showing up each and every day. Being able to be that guy that can be counted on. Not only, everybody's going to pay attention when the ball's in your hand, but can you do the things necessary when the ball's not in your hand to be a dominant player? And the great receivers that I've been around. We've had, I think it's like 7 straight years 1,000-yard receivers in this offense. But the great receivers that I've been around are the guys that play without the ball in their hands. Whether it's being on point with route depths, being where they're supposed to be. If they draw double coverage, it's opening up the one-on-ones for somebody else. It allows great flexibility in the run game. Those are the things that don't usually show up in the stat line, but that's what allows an offense to go. And so I'm excited about what I'm seeing. But there's guys. Jordan Young's done some really nice things. Having Warren coming back out. He jumped off, had another good day today. Couple mistakes that we got to get corrected. But Tamarian is we're continuing to push, and he's had big plays. Had a couple nice plays on third down today, but we're still looking at that consistency day in and day out, and I think he's embracing that challenge, and which I really been proud of here this last week. And so Keyshawn Helton and it's been fun seeing him in his growth and what he's working to do, and we got a great group. So but we just need that constant consistency in how we're playing.
Hey, Coach, you talked about, James, strides he's made on the field. For a guy like James, who, this is his 3rd straight year being kind of a preseason position battle for that starting job, what does it speak to about him, his character, that every year you hear about how much he wants to help everyone else, that it's not something that he ever kind of takes personally? personally that kind of tries to put himself above in some direction like that. He kind of wants to be that guy who helps the other guys.
Well, that's the mark of somebody that desires to be great. And I actually used an example. James is a guy that he wants to help the younger guys. He wants to be able to pull off the experiences that he's had. Having to play early. He's been in some challenging, and probably difficult situations throughout his playing career. But trying to share those experiences. But I guess. An example I used to the team, I guess a week ago, Asante Samuel we were just in a one-on-one drill, and he was going up against Darian Williamson, and he was covering the freshman, and Asante had a great break on a route. Broke up the pass, and immediately when they were done, I heard Asante behind the next guy that was going. He was giving tips to Darian on what he did wrong, of why he was able to jump the route. And, I use that illustration to the team because that is the mark of somebody that wants to be the best. That's somebody that wants to be great. When you're able to help somebody that you go against to be better, it's the understanding of that competition. And that's what I want to see from this team. And that's kind of one of the things that pissed me off yesterday is that, I didn't see the guys competing hard enough and responding when things got tough, the way to make each other better. Today, I think we got better. I think both sides of the ball had some good plays, but there should never be a day, a rep where I want the players to get pissed at me, wanting me to coach them harder. When we get to that point, then you're going to see some great things that are showing up. And I'm going to tell you, I think we have a big majority of guys that are embracing that. And the way their eyes after practice, they want to. The way they're sitting and taking notes in meetings. Nothing's we're challenging them in every aspect. But that's you use the example of James, but we got a lot of examples on this team. I know like the linebackers. You see guys like Emmett and Leonard. They're really trying to pull guys under their wings to help them improve. The defensive front. That's what it takes. And there's times you can have a guy that can be a spotlight player, but if the only player he's making better is himself, then you're only going to take you so far. So that's what we're looking for, and just continuing to work.
We'll go back to Brendan for the next question.
Mike, you mentioned Asante Samuel. What have you seen from him throughout preseason camp? Is he bringing that intensity that he brought in the spring consistently?
Absolute competitor. Absolute competitor, and that guy, he's a joy to coach. And I remember back in tour duty, that was different for our guys, and it was definitely different for all of them. And I remember there was one day that I got to jump on him pretty good, and just coaching body language, coaching response when things weren't going his way. And there was a point I remember clear as day. He just looked at me. And he started nodding his head, and he got it. The response that he understood what we were trying to do, that embrace for challenge, that embrace for being held to a high standard. That's what's going to give him a tremendous opportunity in his future. Not only what he's going to do on the football field, he's very talented there. That's what's going to give him a tremendous opportunity in his life, because that young man is a great competitor, and he pushes to be the best he can be. And for him, it's just showing up and being that guy consistently, which he's definitely done. But I'm excited about his future.
You mentioned how you weren't pleased with yesterday's sort of effort at practice, but as a former player, can you kind of empathize with the thought that, some guys maybe get the foot off the pedal, or is that something that you blocked out of your mind as a coach and just has to be unacceptable for you in your program?
Well, average players allow themselves to do that. Right? I don't want to be around average players. I want to be around great players. I want to be around guys that are passionate to be the best they can possibly be. It's everybody in the game of football gets sore. Everybody gets tired. Everybody, at some point is going to have a really bad day. But when you're pushing to do something great, you don't get to turn that switch on and off. You don't get to wait till the lights come on game day, because somebody else is out there working. And that's been my approach, throughout my entire football career. And it's just being able to trick your mind, right? To trick your mind every day to go out there and just keep pushing, keep getting better, continuing to grow. I mean, that doesn't. I tell our guys, I never want one of our players to be afraid to mess something up. Mistakes are going to happen. There's nobody that plays this game perfect. But if you're aware and giving everything that you have, you're going to be able to respond to the mistakes that you make. It might be in the first quarter, it might be in the fourth quarter. But if you give yourself an opportunity and you're giving all that you have, you're going to make the proper response to put yourself in a position to win the game. And that's the constant message. And, you know, I'm sure guys that have been around me, you know, throughout as coaches and, you know, my teammates back when I was fortunate enough to play the game, the message probably does get tiring at times. But today's all we have. It's the only thing we have guaranteed. And if today is the last day that I ever get on this earth, I'm dang sure going to give it my all. And that's the mindset that I want from this team, and it's a mindset I want from my coaches, and absolutely the mindset I want for myself.